Morning, hi, and welcome back. Little update. My dad's doing a whole lot better, and they found the bleeds on it, and they surmised that it was from all the NSAIDs he was taking, ibuprofen and stuff like that. So don't take a whole lot of them. It causes you to bleed out. Little lining in your stomach and everything else. So they're gonna move him to a regular room today, if they get one available. I reckon everything's chock-a-blocked with COVID patients and everything. And luckily, my father got his COVID shots, so he had the Moderna. So hopefully, he won't catch that. It won't kill him while he's in there. Which is, when you go to the hospital, that's where you catch a lot of your diseases that will kill you, is in the hospital. Because you're there with other sick people. If he wasn't sick, he wouldn't be in there. So, anyway, so, like I said, I don't see any way of doing and being able to do, but I'm going to continue on now with the Halberd, as an exercise anyway, and kind of get it going what I want. But this is going to be a strictly heat, beat, and fabricate. Hi, and welcome back. It's been a day or two since I've been doing anything, so I'd like to thank everybody that thoughts and prayers have been with my father. He's doing good now. I mean, he's in a nursing home, but he's swelled and still got fluid on him, and he's having to stay on a Foley catheter. So as soon as he gets up, I mean, he can get up and walk around some now, but they got to do more rehab on him. And as soon as they get rid of the catheter, he can come home. So that's good news. So they found out what was wrong with him, and it turns out his staggering around and everything else was caused by his heart, not his brain. So no brain aneurysms or anything, thank God for that. But anyway, they've been treating him for the last 15 years for micro strokes and stuff, and all the time it's with his heart. So they got that fixed, hopefully. And so, like I said, he's laying there in bed taking PT now. They're going to keep his legs moving and everything, or going to. And so as soon as he gets off of that catheter, he can come home. That's great. I mean, he's 81 years old, and still he's pretty darn strong. He told me what he went through to his for his upper body strength, and he'd get a hold of you even down there in the other hospital down there, just out of surgery from from his stomach and everything, where they found all them tires in his stomach and veins and stuff right there. Like to bled out, like to lost him. But anyway, good Lord seemed to take fit to let him have a few more days, a month or two, 10 years, or 100 years. That's great. I know you're not supposed to be greedy, but I am when it comes to my dad and everything. Everybody is. And so, but anyway, I'm going to get back on this. Thank you. Thank you very much for all the thoughts and prayers. So, today I'm going to get back on this Halberd project right here. This is kind of what I had in mind to do to start with, kinda. Only I was going to make it just a little bit shorter and just make a split here and not put any blade, just put the spike ends. These are the heads of the spikes anyway. These are, and I've drawn them out and beat them out flat. Everything, put a little sway in it. Got my hook on the back. Got a little dagger on there with Fuller dagger, and then it's got the little spacer right there, little round spacer. A hat for your pole, and there's little straps there to hold it on. And down in here, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if light can get right or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, take your finger. You take my word for it. You don't want to ram your finger down in there, because this dagger goes down about this far in there, and from here down, it's to a square point in there. So yeah, that's so you trim the end of your pole round and put it up in there, and you'll have a spike in the center of it to help hold it and keep it from doing everything. And so anyway, I'm gonna get back on this and start hand sanding. And I believe instead of a knife, I think I'll just go ahead. I'll give this one away for my 200 or 250 subscribers right here. So I'm going to get it, smooth it out real good. I may not show all of it because hand sanding is boring and lethargic. It just makes me want to take a nap. But I can't, because I got to do it. So anyway, I'll bring you back when I get a little more sanding done on it. Okay, I'm back. It's been a week, 10 days, something like that, since I started hand sanding on this bugger. But I've got it. Now, this rag right here is cleaning it. Now, every bit of this is mild steel. Every bit of it. Now, it's sharp, the point there. So, it's going to have bad spots, nicks, stuff like that. And it being soft metal, it's kind of gummy to hand sand. You know, honestly, a hardened and tempered knife is a lot easier to hand sand than mild steel. So I thought about texturing it, and I thought, nah, I'll just leave it like it is, because all it is a wall hanger. And but anyway, this right here rag, what I've got on it is what I always use, 91% alcohol. That's it. I don't use denatured alcohol. Don't use naphtha. Don't use naphtha. Well, you can use it, but you better have some good gloves on. Naphtha kind of smells like lighter fluid, only there's no oil in it, and it's whatever you wipe with it, it's dry, just that fast, right along with your hands. it'll take every bit of the moisture out of your hand, out of your skin, out of your fingernails, everything. It's not good. It's a solvent for cleaning paint guns and stuff like that and other uses, but by and large I won't use it. So I mean, that don't mean I don't have some. I just, when I was doing the little charcoal forge out there, the little brake drum forge that I got, I was using it instead of lighter fluid because it was cheaper than lighter fluid to light the charcoal. You only take one squirt of it and done. So now I'm going to blue it with Birchwood Casey's Super Blue. Okay, I always pour this stuff out into something else. Don't go dipping out of the bottle. You take contaminants back into it and it won't do as good a job. It still work, but it just won't do as good a job. And besides rubber gloves and paper towels and alcohol, this is probably the most used item in here. That and sandpaper. But this right here has a multitude of uses. The Q-tip is ubiquitous. It'll do it all. You get tired, you can play with your ears. Don't stick them in. If you do, go from both sides. That way, at the same time, just shoot, and then pull them out when they touch. So now I'm going to start bluing. So let me get this kind of laid up here and put over this paper towel right here. We've got one glove on and one free hand. All right, let me get this over here and show you what I can do. Yeah, you don't want to look at me not too much longer. You get now right there. I put this Birchwood Casey's in the bottom of a plastic solo cut, clear one, and cut it off so I can get to it. Now, lay it to it. Now if I had a tank and some salts, I could boil the salts and get it clean, and just hot dip it. Let it boil for a while in the salt solution, and turn it. But this right here, what I'm going to do with this is when I'm get it done and blued, I will leave it overnight. And now you can do this 100 times. You can do it and let it sit on here for a few minutes, and then dunk it in water and wash it off, and go again, and go again, and go again, and go again. And what I found I like to do with this, well, it worked good with wrought iron, so I'm assuming it'll work with mild steel, is wet it down real good, and then go over it a couple of times. Try to keep it as wet as you can where you're working, and then let it dry. Leave it on there overnight. Let it rust, and it will rust. And then when you get to rust, it rusts up and everything. Then you put it in a big pot and boil it. I'm assuming it'll do okay on this. If it won't, then I'll be hand sanding again. But sanding bluing off is a whole lot easier than sanding anything else off. what you're doing when you rust it, glue it to rust, is you're converting it into oxide and slows down the rusting properties of it. Not to say that it won't rust, but that's the way most guns are done. It's what's called rust bluing. Put them in a moisture, and then they rust, and then you boil them, and it changes it to ferric oxide. It's not really blue; it's black, or some of it case hardened, or case blue, all that stuff. There's about as many ways to do this as there are ways to do anything. If Daddy's health is good enough, I'm going to go to Blade this weekend. Take my camera down there again. Hopefully I don't have a GoPro. One of these days I'll get one off. I'll come from becoming Fred Flintstone to George Jetson and maybe get me one. I got one, but I got what I paid for, I guess. Real cream will do you for a while. Ah, flipped. That's exactly what I did. Flipped and poured it out. It's all these blues and greens and blacks and oranges and purples. There's all kinds of weird things. Orange could be from a little bit of rust already. I hope I'm showing it to you. I think I've done all this. Nobody saw it. Stuff gets boo-coot nasty. Its flaws give it character. Anyway, if I was making one of these out of high carbon steel for an actual weapon, it would definitely be taken a whole lot more serious with this, even though I did start out awful serious. So serious I got mad at myself for not being able to do something. So Daddy getting sick sure brought a whole lot of perspective to that. Now there it is. Oh, let's find this out right here. Right there. Now, I was going to do right here where this is, I was going to, about right there where it was at, if I could get it all welded, I was going to try to get it and drive a drift in there and spread that open and make the blade out of the heads of the railroad tracks, spikes, right there. And have a hole in it right here, spread it out there, and still have the same hook with the knife up in between it. And this from about right here back welded, and this up here I had to put some weld in. So, and then I welded this on because I burnt a lot of weight and material away trying to get it to all weld. But this back in here it stuck, and I didn't think it would, or I didn't think it did, but it did. So anyway, like I said, through there, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but I don't know, probably not. Now you don't have a flashlight in my pocket, or do I? Nope, I don't. So anyway, this is where I'm going to call it for this one, and I'll come back on the next one when I'm boiling it and getting it all ready, getting it oiled up and everything. So till next time, this is Bobby Shield saying, God bless. Thank you for your prayers.